This is the My 4 High School Basketball Game of the Week.
It is the Game of the Week on My 4 and Christian Brothers Academy. Tonight hosting one of the final games of the regular season. It's almost playoff time. And inside CBA Gymnasium, the brothers getting set to take on Shen. Hi, everybody. Roger Weiland with you. It is our final game of our 8-game schedule here on My 4. We expect this one to be a good one with the playoffs ready to roll. Steve Scambolori, the former LaSalle head coach, joins us. And Steve, two teams that could meet up in the postseason as we get ready to roll.
This is an exciting time for coaches and players. Postseason's right around the corner. Your goal is to get your group playing to its maximum potential. This should be a good game tonight, a potential sectional showdown as well.
Yeah, no question about it. And Shen comes in with just the one loss, and that was to Shaker. They've got 4 guys averaging in double figures, and one of those guys is Christian Morgan, their 6'5 senior.
He's the ultimate Swiss Army knife, I think, in Section 2. He does so many different things, handles the ball, passes the ball, rebounds the ball, and he has a probe dribble that's really, really good, which we'll talk about here, I think, throughout the night. Solid player for Shenandoah.
And for CBA, they've got the 3 losses in the Suburban. They almost beat Shaker last week, so we know they're more than capable. And we also know that J.J. Osinski is a handful to stop offensively.
He's one of my favorite players to watch, mainly because his mentality is such. It's a scorer's mentality. And when you have a scorer's mentality, you're always on the attack. And that's what I really enjoy about watching J.J. play. He's always in attack mode.
What kind of game do you expect here tonight? Steve Scambolori, and let's get to your keys to the game.
I think it'll be a good game. I mean, I think for Shen, you mentioned it, strength in numbers. They have close to 5 guys in double figures. They're going to use that. And they also, of course, J.J. Osinski's got to give him their full attention. They got to make sure they're around him and they focus in on him because he's a huge key for that team.
And Shen, Steve, likes the half-court game, and they'll really work their sets. We'll see if CBA can defend in the half-court.
Well, I think CBA is going to have to guard long possession. Shen will use a majority of the shot clock. If you guard for only 10 seconds against Shen, that's not going to be a good recipe.
Coach Scambolori, there's the matchup tonight. I like it, and we think we have a good one here. Tonight, end of the regular season, playoffs right around the corner. We have Shen and CBA as our game of the week coming up next on My 4 WNYF. It is the place to be on a Thursday night. Why not? Game of the week inside CBA. And a nice crowd has filed in on this Thursday on My 4 WNYA as we are set to tip this off. Let's take a look at the starting lineup. First, the visiting team, Shenendahoa. To start, Christian Morgan, 6'5", senior, averages 12 a game, along with Begad Ibrahim, 18 points per game, a 6'4" junior. Jacob Stewart, 6'2", junior forward, averaging 18 a game, and Ethan Rudd, a 6'5", senior, also in double figures at 10 a game. For CBA, they go with Jack Hewlett, a 6-foot freshman. Jason J.T. Vogel, 6'2", sophomore. Jaden J.J. Osinski, the sophomore, 6'5", averages 22 a game. And also Ibuki Oda Tayo, a 6'7" junior. And rounding it out, Amari Pop Cofield, a 5'9" junior guard. Rounding out the starting five, there's the series history, 15th meeting since 07. Shen leads 8-6, but CBA won 7 straight from 2015 to 2020, and prior to that, Shen won 4 straight from 07 to 2012. Just a couple of games left in the regular season. Seedings are next week, and the playoffs are ready to go. And there's the student section for the brothers of CBA. And CBA's changed their starting lineup a little bit, Steve, since the last time we saw them against Niskayuna a few weeks ago in one of our games of the week.
A really young team, one senior. You really like that if you're a CBA fan. And they have a lot of interchangeable parts. Let's see how they use them here to start out.
And here's the patience in the half court that Shen has done extremely well with. They pass the ball extremely well. There's Morgan getting to the rim, and they're going to call a foul here. Looked like pretty good block from Odatayo, but must have got some body there. It's going to be 2 shots for Christian Morgan on the first drive of the game.
Yeah, and you see Morgan already putting a stamp on the game. And on the road, when you're playing, especially on the road, you can get to the rim early, get to the free throw line early, get a couple of easy baskets early. That bodes well for you getting off to a good start. Morgan has a great probe dribble. And a lot of times you'll see tonight, he'll dribble, drive to the paint without an intent to score, but an intent to see how the defense is going to react.
All right, 1 of 2 for Christian Morgan. And we'll see what Shen does defensively, or obviously man-to-man here to begin. And see who else other than Osinski is going to score the basketball tonight, Steve. You know he's going to get his points.
Well, JJ averages 22 a game, and we talked about this. Coupled with an and one, they're going to need somebody else, probably 2 or 3 somebody else's, if they're going to reach their maximum potential as a team. They need other guys to score. It can't just be J.J. Osinski. Well, this is a good start.
Here might be the other guy. Good start for Amari Pop Cofield. And he's at the line trying to complete the 3-point play and misses the foul shot. Ibrahim, outstanding player for Shenendahoa. Just doesn't get a lot of shots up. It's because of the way this team plays. They're so good sharing the ball offensively. Who wins the battle of the boards tonight, Steve?
I think usually if you can defend and rebound and win the glass, you have a chance to win every game. And right now you see Shen, full face denial on J.J. Osinski. They had Stewart on him the first possession. This possession here, they have Ibrahim.
Yeah, that's a good matchup. Ibrahim against J.J. Osinski. And we'll see Austin Osinski tonight, too. J.J.'s younger brother, the freshman. 5 to shoot. J.J. puts it up. Shot clock winding down and buries a 2-point shot.
And we talked about it. Scorer's mentality. That time, first touch, first ball pick. Shen's got to figure out that ball pick. That's going to be a long night for Shen if they don't square up that ball pick defense.
4-1 start to the game. Morgan, Rudd, and Conley gets called for the travel. And there's head coach Paul Yatai in his 4th year. Called him today and said, "You want to do a TV hit with me for our early news on WNYT?" He said, "Sure, but I'll be wearing a mask. I have the flu." I said, "Coach, you're good." But that's why he's wearing the mask tonight, a little bit under the weather. But here he is, still coaching his team tonight.
Might sound funny, but as a coach, when you're under the weather, it kind of slows down your decision-making, helps you focus a little bit more on the game, keeps you a little bit quieter. That could help him.
Vogel, a little strong on the 3. And Shen in transition and a foul on Cofield working against Ibrahim.
So what's interesting straight up away here is the first few possessions for CBA, they've done a really good job keeping Shenendahoa right in front of them. They haven't let them dribble drive past them. That's always a big key defensively for any team.
And there's head coach Jalal Cancer in his first year, replacing the legendary Dave Domel. They had a nice retirement ceremony for him earlier in the season. Another drive by Morgan and a foul.
And that'll be 2 on Odatayo. They're going to have to get him out of the game.
They sure are.
And Morgan, again, just so crafty with his attack dribbles. And you can teach that a little bit. A lot of that is just God-given skill. And you mentioned Jalal Cancer doing a really good job in his first year. You know, seeing him back on this court, a little bit of a traumatic experience for me when I coached at LaSalle. Jalal was playing an excellent, excellent high school player and an excellent college player as well.
So Jacob Bowden, number 33, a 6'6 sophomore, replaces Odatayo in the lineup as he picks up those 2 fouls. Both teams not great at the foul line here to start this game.
You know, what's nice about CBA, they can go big, they can go small, they got guys that handle the ball, a lot of different parts to their team.
Pop with the miss on the drive. And the rebound out and off of CBA, and it'll go back over to Shenendahoa. There's the drive by Cofield. And last touch by Bowden.
And when you have interchangeable parts, sometimes as a coach, it's a blessing all the time, but you can kind of get in your own way sometimes as a coach. You got to figure out how you want to play and what you want to play. But interchangeable parts are a really good thing for any team. Here you see the flex offense by Shen, trying to get some movement and touches on the ball.
And Nick Romano, number 12, is checked in the lineup too for Shen. Ibrahim can't get that one to go underneath. CBA the rebound, and only 1 point so far in this game for Shenendahoa.
Playing a little bit too fast offensively, especially when they catch and dribble drive to the rim. Just got to take a breath and kind of slow things down.
And a foul on CBA. That's Bowden. Picks up a quick foul, just getting into the game.
Yeah, it's one of the hardest things to
goes
teach
out.
as a coach. You know, your ability to teach your players that you have to take a deep breath and slow down. You get a lot of that through repetition and experience, and also, believe it or not, through film sessions. When the players watch themselves play fast, that's really the great educator in terms of getting them to slow down.
Watch Jack Hewlett, too, number 1 defender, perimeter defender for CBA, guarding Ibrahim. Ibrahim turns on the baseline. Shot is no good off the back of the iron. Rebound Stewart, and he's fouled.
And that time, what did you see from Ibrahim? He took his time. He took about 3-4 seconds to make that move. That was a really tough shot and a good shot. But here what you're seeing early on is, you know, CBA struggling a bit on the glass. Clear foul there by Ozinski. Already at 5 team fouls here, Raj. You know, not even halfway through the first quarter.
And right away to the line for 2 shots. At least the rest of this quarter, then they reset.
And as a coach, you use that as to your advantage. Like, you remind your team, hey, any foul now for the rest of the quarter, we're shooting free throws. So you want to be super aggressive because, again, you want to get to that free throw line and get some free points.
Well, Stewart knocks down both. And a 1-point game as Vogel brings it across. Osinski double teamed and still gets that shot out. There were 2 guys running at him on that shot, and he still buries it. 6-3.
That was good defense, but better offense by J.J. Osinski. Just kind of rose up over 2 guys. Tough shot.
Rudd banging down low. A block by Bowden. No, a foul on Bowden, and Rudd will go to the line. And the CBA fans did not like that call, and certainly the student section. Here's another look, Steve.
Well, that's 2 on Bowden, 2 on Odatayo. Again, you know, the officials we have are really good, and I mean really good. Every coach wants to get, you know, every call, but now CBA in a little bit of a pickle because they got their 2 bigs with some early foul trouble here.
Rudd will have 1 more. 6'5" senior. Was shooting it at about 65% from the field. 10 points, 5 rebounds per game for Ethan Rudd. 1 out of 2 for Rudd. And we got a timeout by CBA.
Okay, you talk about interchangeable parts. I mean, Shen, almost 5 guys that average in double figures. It can be any guy on any given night, which in my opinion makes them just super dangerous, especially when you get into the playoffs, because anybody can score 20.
So 6-4, both teams trying to figure it out offensively, but I think a pretty good start by both teams defensively tonight, Steve.
I think so, and we were laughing before the game. We're taking a look at CBA, and I said, hey, look at coaching nightmare. CBA didn't have school today. So you wonder, how your kids are going to come out and play. And usually, not always, the energy level is a little bit lower if you don't have school because your body's off its normal routine. I think they've answered that call already.
There's your Section 2 heroes, guys. We got a lot of them. I don't know about any bigger than Jeffrey Mulhern. He just dropped 50, dropped 45 on Monday, dropped 50 last night in a win over Fonda. Mackenzie Sherburne from Cairo Durham, congratulations. Mustangs' first girls 1,000-point score. And then congratulations to Tobias and Giglio reaching the 300-win category. Heather, Tobias, Colony, girls basketball, and Steve Giglio, the girls basketball coach at Holy Names. 300 career wins for both those outstanding head coaches. All right, we're back in play out of the timeout.
Yeah, so this is just token full court pressure, meaning you're not running, you're not trapping, you're just trying to bother the team bringing the ball up the floor, cut into that shot clock.
Austin Osinski is checked in the game, and that's Austin, the freshman, taking that shot. And Ibrahim in transition. Rudd spins on the baseline to Morgan.
There's that pro dribble we talked about.
Pretty good defense here in the half court by CBA. Good save by Morgan, but save to CBA. Good hustle by Morgan. But up ahead to CBA, and Vogel has it. Now to Hewlett. Really like how both teams are defending it right now.
Shen has done a great job of defending the paint. I mean, I don't think CBA's gotten in there maybe one time so far this quarter.
Vogel, baseline, Austin. Nice speed, and the finish by Austin Osinski, and an 8-4 lead by CBA.
Yeah, you want easy baskets. Team that scores the most easy baskets usually wins. And a great make my teammate better play there by JT Vogel.
Howden with those 2 fouls on Rudd right now. Stewart to Morgan. Open look. No good by Stewart. Had a pretty good look right there. And we got a rebound foul on Ibrahim. Going for the loose ball. Gets called for the foul. And here's
this
a
is
nice,
really good
nice
here.
feed here.
Yep, get the ball to the paint, 2 feet under control. And a layup does a couple things. One, it gets your teammates some confidence, gives your team some confidence, and lets you get back, and you're feeling pretty good about yourself here. 8-4 CBA early on, weathering the storm here with some early foul trouble.
Hey, congratulations we talk about the 300 win club. We got Chad Bowman from McKeel Christian Academy in the 500 win column. Congratulations to Chad. Did that early in January, on January 3rd, in a win over Kings Christian. And how about that tenure at McKeel? 30-year run by Chad Bowman. Congratulations to Chad.
What a great career. Again, congrats to Chad. Super guy, super coach. They don't give those away, meaning the wins. You got to earn those. That's an awful lot of wins. That's an incredible career. Congrats to him. And we see again Shen coming back with your token full court pressure. I don't anticipate them trapping out of this. Yep, they're just going to back off.
CBA up 4 with the ball. Late stages here of the opening quarter. Bowden fouled inside. That foul goes against Nick Romano. And that's going to be a 2-shot opportunity. And here's a look, getting the ball down and low, and the good call there on the foul. That Bowden, 6'6" sophomore.
And what's interesting about that play, J.J. Osinski commands so much attention. That time they ran him off a double screen, and then they ran him back off the double. And JJ set a really good back screen to free up his teammate Bowden there. But because Osinski commands so much of your attention, and rightfully so, it's going to open up opportunities for his teammates. You saw that play out just there.
Morgan and Rudd went out of the lineup for Shenandoah. Borelli is in for his first minutes. He was in the starting lineup the last time we did Shenandoah on our game of the week. Hewlett with the miss. Here comes Ibrahim in transition. And the drive, a little floater in the lane's no good by Will Conley. And a quick outlet by CBA. Up to Osinski. Beautiful spin move. Layup is good with the right hand by Osinski. And CBA up 6.
And what's been really impressive about his evolution as a player, and you saw it there, his upper body strength has really improved from a year ago.
Stewart trying to get into the lane and calling a jump ball. Good defense by Vogel. And the possession arrow will favor the brothers.
They're doing a good job, CBA, playing defense with their feet. A lot of times you'll play defense with your hands, and early on they were playing defense with their hands because they got into foul trouble pretty quickly. Last few possessions, they're playing much better with their feet. If you keep the man in front of you, your help doesn't have to come, and you're going to really be disruptive.
Osinski, JJ, who averages about 22 a game, has 6 of the 10 points so far here tonight. And that's Jack Donahue, 6'5" sophomore, has the ball. He's a guy that can knock down three-point shots, so there you go. Donahue right off the bench and buries the three.
That time there was a screen and then a re-screen, and Donahue again gets his feet set and really stroke it.
Baseline jumper is good, and a nice answer by Will Conley.
And what you like about Shen, credit to their staff, their players, they don't panic. Steady Eddie. All right, they're just going to battle here last 40 seconds. They've struggled to score the ball. A lot of that has to do with CBA's defense.
Final 35 seconds here. Vogel to Osinski. Osinski trying to back in. They're going to get him for an offensive foul here. And taking the charge is Jacob Stewart. Offensive foul on JJ.
Stewart's done a good job this first quarter guarding Osinski. And right here, yeah, he dips that shoulder a little bit and a good sell by Jacob Stewart. I think a lot of times when you're watching that at home and you see the replay, if a player dips his shoulder in or extends his arm, I think it makes the call for the officials a little bit easier. And that time you saw the shoulder dip, and Stewart stuck in there, got his feet set, took it. Good play.
Final 26 seconds here in this first quarter. Controlled at the moment by CBA, up 13-7. Pop Cofield, some good pressure defense on Hewlett. Or check that on Borelli. Now there's 10 seconds to go in the half. Ibrahim with the drive, and right at about 4 seconds to go. Terrific move by Ibrahim, and that will do it. That's how the quarter ends, on a bucket by Ibrahim for Shenandoah. And a pretty good first quarter by both teams, and maybe none better than J.J. Osinski, who's off to a really good start offensively. And he has a nice start, and so does CBA, leading 13-8 over Shenandoah on my floor.
winning ticket numbers 212717 and 212720. 212717, 212720. Report over to the scores table immediately. 212717, 212720. To the scores table immediately, please. 212717, 212720.
And just outside of the gym here at CBA, out of the north end here, look at these trophies. They've got a, I would call it a winning tradition here over the many, many years at CBA in all of their sports.
Been like that for a long
Yes, it
time,
has.
dating back even when I was a kid when they were over on New Scotland Avenue in Albany. Just a great athletic tradition here at CBA. So many great players.
Steve Shen was 6 of 11, or 6 of 19 rather, in the first half. Shen, CBA 6 of 14 from the floor.
Yeah, but if you're Shen, you got to go at some of these guys that have 2 fouls. So CBA's got to be real careful because Olszynski's got 2. Really can't afford to have him pick up a 3rd here, especially early on in the second quarter.
Romano with the drive, sets back up to Borelli. And in transition off the miss to CBA. And a foul on Shenenda Hoa. A little blocking foul on Jacob Stewart.
I thought that was a good call. Great save here by JJ. And then, yeah, Stewart not really set. That upper body moving a little bit. In order to take a successful charge, you really have to get your feet set and your body can't be moving one way or the other.
JT Vogel at the line. And he makes the first to make it a 14-8 game.
And now you see, excuse me, Rod, now you see some of those different parts here. CBA playing a little bit smaller. You got a couple of bigs on the bench, and Donahue's more of a stretch 4 or 5.
Yeah, well, you leave him, you give him some space. He's more than capable of getting into rhythm from 3. Donahue saying Shen comes in, 8-3 and 11-1, and CBA 8-3. Both these teams, I think, can, obviously Shen with just the 1 loss, but CBA can be a dangerous postseason team.
They really can, because they just have so many different parts. The one thing they're doing here is they're probably fouling a little bit too much. And on the dribble drive, you put your hands and you restrict movement. Referees are going to call that.
Rod in the lane with the right hand. No good. Rebound, J.J. Olszynski, which is the other thing that J.J. does. We talk about his offense, but he's a double-digit rebound guy. Donahue, there's a room to shoot, and banks that one in. I don't know if Jack called that or not. It doesn't matter. Back-to-back threes by Donahue off the bench.
Well, you always say if you make one of those that you called it. 100% of the time.
There you
and
go.
hey, look, the backboard's up there for a reason. Might as well use it.
Ibrahim trying to get in the lane and can't. Gets it to Borelli. Stewart has it. Shot clock at 15. Stewart turns around in the lane and scores. Nice answer by Jacob Stewart, the 6'2 junior.
That was interesting. Coach Yaddo's trying to call a timeout there, and Stewart's going to work in the post. CBA doing a good job of really making Shen play in crowds, especially when they get to the paint.
7-point game. Cofield, quick drive to the rim and a foul out front before the shot. I don't think the bucket's going to count. And it will not. Sam Borelli with the foul, but here's a really quick move by number 24, Amari Pop Cofield, the 5'9 junior football player.
Yep, good catch on the wing, good rip through, and a good strong first step.
And Pop gets it into J.J. Olszynski, and he's going to launch a deep 3. And Donahue came down with it. Good hustle on the offensive boards, but it came down out of bounds, and the ball goes over to Shenenda Hoa. A 7-point game. Really a relatively low scoring game. And both, again, I keep stressing I like the way both teams are defending right now.
Yeah, both teams well coached. Doing a good job defensively.
Stewart with the miss, rebound to Romano. And now Borelli pulls up, 15-footer, that's off the front of the iron. CBA with a rebound.
Now what's interesting is like the first time, Raj, you and I saw Shen, they were making a lot of those shots. Now it's different here on the road.
And Donahue for three again, a little strong off the back of the iron. Weak side rebound to Morgan. Up ahead to Rudd. Rudd straight to the rim and a block by Donahue, running the floor. You know, you had the miss at the other end, and he gets great hustle by Donahue to get back in transition defense.
It looked like Rudd got away with a little bit of a travel right there. Either way, no call, and a great recovery there by two CBA defenders.
Will Conley to Morgan. Looking for a backdoor cut. Good defense by CBA. And now Rudd working hard down low, and that is a block shot.
So comparatively speaking, we saw Colony play Shen. Colony has that one big guy, not a ton of much length after that. I think CBA shows you length at almost every position. You're seeing that as part of the struggle here for Shen.
Fouls or the block was with Odatayo, but he's got those two fouls. That's kind of a dangerous situation there with the block, and there's another block by Odatayo. You don't want to pick up his third, but he is very aggressive on the inside. Back-to-back blocks by Ibuki Odatayo, the junior.
There's ways that you can teach that. Sometimes you'll do a practice drill and you'll pick out different guys and say, okay, you have 3 fouls, you have 2 fouls, you have 4 fouls. Guys have to learn how to play with different foul situations.
Vogel with the drive, and they'll call a reach-in foul on Nick Romano. That's 2 on Romano.
And with 2, you just have to be, especially given the time. If you had 2 fouls in the fourth quarter at the tail end of the third, you're still super aggressive. But you just got to be careful. You want to chase only certain shots, and you really just got to make sure you're not making contact, because a third foul takes you out of the game.
Hewlett hands it off to Vogel. Vogel pulls up in the lane and hits. JT Vogel, the sophomore, extends to their biggest lead of the game now, up by 9, 19-10 here in the second quarter for CBA.
He's played really steady. He's really kind of their glue guy. That time just getting to the paint in the mid-range, pulling up, rising up. It's a good shot.
Ibrahim out front, guarded by Vogel. Connolly spinning up and under and scores. Nice move by Will Connolly. Averages about 9 points a game. He gets 2 big ones right there and a 7-point lead by CBA.
And that's why you have to be patient. That was great patience and also tremendous footwork. He played really well, Connolly, against Niskiu, and I was real impressed with him. Another really good piece for this team. If he's playing well, that just helps Shen even that much better.
JJ a little strong on the cross-court pass over on the left wing to Vogel, and it sails out of bounds in a rare turnover here. Both teams have cut down on their turnovers. Like how both teams handling the basketball here in this first half.
Yep, Shen's going to continue to be patient. I got Morgan back in the game. But I think what you're seeing a little bit now, especially in the strength game, CBA physically seems to be a little bit stronger than Shen is, and you're seeing that a little bit here, especially when the ball gets into the paint and the ball comes off the glass.
Morgan feeds down low to Romano. And now Conley backs out with 10 to go. And Vogel, what a tremendous defensive player Vogel is. And at the other end, does not get a call there. No call, and the ball goes out of bounds. I think it'll be Shen ball when we come back out of the timeout here. There's 3:06 to go. And this is what Vogel does. He is our best perimeter defensive player, and shows you why right there.
He's just a strong kid. That time Connolly kind of ran into him, right? Connolly runs into Vogel. Vogel beats the move, makes sure he gets to the spot before the offense. When you collide with JT Vogel, a lot of times you're going to lose that battle. He's just physically a lot stronger than most guards.
Well, he's also tough because he's one of the football guys, and that's I've got 4 of them here to tell you about. Aiden Good, there's Pop, JT Vogel, Jack Hewlett, all football players, all had that great season. For Coach Bobby Burns, went all the way to the state championship game and lost a heartbreaker at the buzzer to CBA Syracuse. But, you know, Good's a senior, but the rest of those guys, junior, sophomore, freshman, the CBA team will just reload for next year.
Yeah, no doubt.
I always say I like the football guys who play basketball.
And it's hard if you've never played football. It's hard to get rid of the shoulder pads in late October, early November, and then get acclimated to basketball because your shoulder's just naturally a little bit tighter. I remember playing football for Joe Grosso at McGinn, and what a wonderful coach and a wonderful man he was. But when I lost the shoulder pads, it took me a good month and a half to just get my jump shot back and my muscles in my shoulders moving fully again. So that's a process.
And when you talk about football, 4 straight Section 2 titles. Highly, highly successful program. Another turnover by CBA. That's back-to-back possessions now. Brothers turned it over. 7-point game. Biggest lead, 9. And Morgan to Rudd. Always one extra pass for Shen. Ibrahim, beautiful drive.
And that time the ball flipped once. Full rotation on the basketball. We've said this before, when you reverse the ball, the defense stretches, get more gaps, more holes in the defense.
Nice looking drive by Ibrahim, making a 19-14 game. 3-point shot is good. JJ feeling it tonight. 22-14, brothers.
And he's a shoelace guy. What I mean by that, you got to stay on top of his shoelaces on the catch. You'd rather see him catch it and dribble it than catch, weigh it, and then go with it.
And then back at the other end, Ibrahim feeling it too, like I can get to the rim. And he does and draws contact and a foul, and Ibrahim will be at the line shooting too.
And he gets 2 feet in the paint, Ibrahim. I mean, he usually will score or get fouled or both. I mean, he looks like he's about 6'3", 6'4". He makes good decisions, and we've always talked about this. He's just really patient in his approach. What you're seeing CBA do is some guys they're helping off of, and some guys they're not helping off of.
Romano checks out. Jacob Stewart is back in. 1 out of 2 from Ibrahim in the 7-point game. Final 2 minutes of the first half. Pop over to Vogel. Vogel going to drive baseline. There's an extra pass to Hewlett, and the baseline drive off the glass, and good by the freshman Jack Hewlett.
Extra pass that time by Kofel, and then Hewlett attacking the closeout, putting the defense at a disadvantage and getting all the way to the rim.
Ibrahim again. He wants to get to that rim and does again on the block. Odatayo with another block here in this first half. And a foul on Shen. On the drive by Vogel, that foul will go against Mar Bouchery, the senior. And there's the block, another block. He's got I think 3 of them here in this first half. Odatayo, and that was his 3rd block of this half, and a timeout with 1:24 to go. And CBA's playing well on the home court tonight.
They really are. And Odatayo, I give him a lot of credit playing with those 2 fouls. He's got such long arms. The only comparison that I can see is when I saw Pau Gasol in person. Pau Gasol's arms were about as long as his legs. Odatayo is pretty similar. He's got great timing on his jump. And even if he doesn't block shots, he still changes shots. And you have to take a look at that, especially if you're a big that likes to be aggressive on shot blocking. If you can change shots, sometimes it's almost just as good as blocking shots.
Quinn Helfrich is keeping track of blocks, and CBA has 4 blocks so far in this first half. All right, let's you talk about the referees in this game, right?
Absolutely. They do such a good job, and obviously every section is looking for more referees. But I can tell you this about our Section 2 officials. The kids will drive home, and they will debate how they played and kind of talk about what they could have done better. Coaches, the same thing. And believe it or not, the officials do the same thing. The officials want to be as good as the players and as good as the coaches. And I can guarantee every Section 2 official, they'll drive home and critique themselves. And that speaks to the quality and the value that we have in this section. They're always trying to get better and that's just what makes Section 2 basketball such a great thing.
Yeah, and they're always looking for young officials, right? Let's talk about the lack of officials. Who wants to officiate? And they're really trying to do their best to attract more officials. That's a wide open look. But on the follow, Oda Tayo off the miss by Vogel is there for the putback. Count the bucket and a foul.
I just love his activity. And activity meaning like, offensive rebound, nobody blocks him out. If there's one guy that you've got to block out, I think if you're Shen, it's got to be Oda Tayo. That time he had a clean run to the rim. I mean, he was up over the rim on that one easily.
Foul is on Ibrahim. Ibrahim picks up the foul. And this now is the biggest lead, but 12 here. Biggest lead of the game. It was 9, it's now 12, 27-15. 27-15 CBA. Shen needs a bucket here in this possession. Morgan underneath, back out to Romano. No good, inside rebound, Vogel. And his pass up ahead is picked off by Romano. Back the other way comes Shen. Bounce pass, though, gets away, and they turn it over. Bounce pass to Boucherie, and it goes out of bounds. And a turnover against Shen, and CBA will get it back just down inside a minute to go. Here's a look, the right idea. Bounce pass just a little too strong, and Boucherie could not hold on to it, and CBA will get it back off the turnover.
Now, statistically speaking, I'm curious how many threes Shen has made in the first half. I don't remember them making more than 2. I'm not sure they've made even 1. And what that does, when you make threes, that changes the way you have to guard defensively, because now you really got to get out on shooters. If you can't make threes, that time was a great kick out by Christian Morgan. They just missed an open shot.
Yeah.
You can't make threes. That changes the way that you play offensively and changes the way that you can guard. So I don't think I remember seeing a Shenendahoe team shoot the ball this poorly, but that does happen, and they're a good team. I don't think it's going to bother them much, but they got to be careful here.
Yeah, Shen comes in with 4 guys in double figures, so they've got a lot of balance. CBA, not as much. They got one guy that averages 22 a game, and then nobody else is in double figures. Who's going to step up tonight? And here you look at the balanced attack. 4 players in double figures. Ibrahim leads the way along with Stewart at 18 a game, Morgan 12, and Rudd has 10. But so far, Donahue's come off the bench and hit a couple of threes tonight. Tremendous play by Oda Tayo in the starting lineup tonight. Contributing offensively outside of J.J. Osinski, and they've got the 12-point lead. Final 45 seconds.
And if you didn't know the numbers and you just walked in the gym and watched the game, you'd think CBA is 4 guys averaging double figures, not Shen.
Vogel with 10 seconds to go on the shot clock has the ball. Passes to Hewlett for 3, no good. But Osinski, JJ gets a big weak side rebound, puts it down on the floor. He's double teamed, and we're going to have a reach-in foul.
You have an interesting conundrum as a defensive team when you have a J.J. Osinski and a ball pick with J.T. Vogel. You have to make a decision, right? And you got to be careful, because if you lose contact with Osinski, he can pick and pop, he can pick and roll. He can do a lot of different things. He can score inside and outside. That time just making a really good hustle play, gets fouled, and you don't want to foul him. He's going to make most of his free throws.
Foul was on Christian Morgan. Osinski at the line, having a monster first half offensively, scoring the ball. And now a 13-point lead by CBA. Look, they had a 7-point lead with 5 minutes to go at Shaker last week and coughed it up and didn't come out of there with a win. Talking with Coach Cancer before the game, he felt like they, had Shaker and should have won that game. And liked the way his team was coming into tonight's game, and he's not wrong.
Well, if they can get other guys to score, that just makes Osinski even more dangerous, in my opinion.
3 seconds to go in the half. Morgan puts it up at the buzzer. It's no good. And that's a really good effort defensively. And we saw CBA defensively against Niskayuna. They are much better tonight on the defensive side.
Well, you can feel them and feel their energy just from sitting over here, and we have headsets on. So they had a great first half. Let's see if they can finish this off. 16 more minutes.
And we're back at the Ned McGraw Gymnasium here at CBA, and the brothers playing well here in this first half, up by a score of 29-15. As we welcome you back, I'm Roger Weiland. Time to meet this week's News Channel 13 Rensselaer Honda High School boys and girls basketball all-stars. And let's start on the boys' side, and we'll begin with a young man who's had quite the week. Jeffrey Mulhern is our pick this week. Our scouts, in addition to his prolific scoring ability, says he is the energy man for the Dwaynesburg Eagles. 38 points, 10 rebounds, 4 assists per game. He scored 48 of his team's 58 on Monday night, had 50 last night in a win over Fonda. He's an outstanding player, 3-level scorer who plays just as hard on defense as he does on the offensive side.
It's great to be on the team 2 times in a row with guys that I've played before, and just extremely pleasure to be on the team. I feel like I've developed an outside shot that I really have fallen in love with, and like to take an outside shot. I love playing defense. That's one of my I love getting blocks and getting steals, getting out on the break. But that just brings energy to the team. Everybody loves a guy that loves to play defense, and that's who I am.
Hey, congratulations to Mulhern. You'll meet All-Star number 7 this time next week on WNYT and News Channel 13. And there's our number 6 player on the girls' side of our Rensselaer Honda High School girls basketball team, 5'6", senior point guard from Queensbury, Shea Canavan. 20 points, 6 steals, 6 assists per game, and has recorded 10-plus assists in 4 straight games. In addition to her high-level play on offense and defense, our scouts were also impressed with her leadership on the court. She's clearly the leader on a very successful Spartans team.
I'm very excited about this. Yeah, I really like getting steals. Definitely is that. I also like finding my players outside. I definitely, if they get open, I'll find them. I feel like I've always been aggressive. I don't like losing, and if the ball is there, I feel like I'm gonna get it.
All right, there's our top 6. Congratulations to Shea. You'll meet All-Star number 7 over on WNYT this week on Thursday, a week from tonight. All right, we're at halftime here. And so far, this game controlled by CBA. They lead 29-15. Come back with Steve Scambolori and first half highlights right after this on My Floor. Yeah. And we're at halftime. CBA leads Shen 29-15 on the game of the week here on My 4. Roger Wineland, Steve Scambalori. And Steve, in terms of defense, you have to give a lot of credit to CBA, the way they defended here in the first half. I think it's a big reason why they have the lead.
Yeah, no doubt. They're playing with great energy and intensity and with great understanding of what they're trying to do. Shen's not playing poorly. They really just haven't shot the ball well this half. We'll see if they can turn that around here in the last 16 minutes.
Yeah, Shen did not make a three in the first half. I'm sure they'll put a few up here in the second. We'll see what happens. Let's take a look at some highlights, Steve, and we'll start with Shenandoah and really some balance here in the scoring department. Jacob Stewart there scores. Stewart with 4 points in the game. And there's a move by Will Conley as he got the start tonight. And their leading scorer is Bigad Ibrahim, who has 5 points. And then Osinski has just been tremendous here in the first half. CBA with 11 points for J.J. Osinski to lead the way. And a 14-point lead was the biggest lead, but they had some contributions, too, because Jack Donahue came off the bench and knocked down 2 threes.
We got Donahue shooting the ball well from the outside. Otatayo is really doing a nice job, especially defensively. He scored a couple of buckets. And here, if you see the statistics, I'm curious to know. I mean, only 5 baskets from Shen. They've got to be shooting a very, very low percentage. And, Raj, I can't tell you the last time that a Shenandoah team has made 0 3-point baskets in a half before. I mean, it's got to be a really, really long time. That's highly, highly uncommon.
We'll give CBA some credit for that.
Absolutely.
For the way they have defended here in the first half. Well, we'll see how it plays out. Long way to go here, but right now our halftime score is 29-15. CBA has the lead on Shenandoah in the second half. Coming up on My 4. And this is from earlier in this season, the ceremony to honor the great Dave Domel and all of his accomplishments, and to dedicate the court after Dave Domel and his wife and the group all behind him, his family and friends. And he was here from 1997 through 2024, and quite the coaching tree with Dave Domel. And I don't go back as far as Ned McGraw, but I remember Bill Tulaski, because I was here back in the late 80s, and then Jim Pedlow, Dave Domel, and now Jalal Cancer is the head coach, and he was on that championship team of Dave Domel back in 2010. I had the pleasure of calling that state championship game up at the Glens Falls Civic Center that year, back in the days when we were on Time Warner Cable. And we haven't had games on TV in a long time until WNYA and My 4 came along, and we thank John Hitchcock, our general manager at WNYT, for paving the way for that, and we hope this is the beginning of a very long run of high school basketball games moving into next season as well, too. And Steve, it's been an absolute pleasure working with you, and it looks like we got hopefully a really good second half here to wrap up our 8 broadcasts this season.
So if you're CBA, you want to maintain that level of energy and intensity and focus, right? There can be no drop-off. And if you're Shen, let's see if they do something, maybe change the tempo here.
Pop Cofield with the ball to begin the second half here. They get the possession. And Osinski had the big half offensively, as oftentimes he does. And CBA turns it over on the first possession. This is Will Connolly with the layup off a Brothers turnover.
Yep, and you see right here what Shen's trying to do, right? So clearly they had let's say, an interesting meeting probably at halftime where, hey, our energy's not where it needs to be. We're not playing up to our standards. That time they run and jump a little bit, speed CBA up. They turn it over. They get an easy basket. And now a quick timeout here by Coach Cancer to try to reorganize his guys.
Yeah, off the turnover, Conley with the coast-to-coast lay-in, and right away, Coach Cancer does not like the way that started and wasted no time, Steve, in calling a timeout.
And that's one of the negatives, I guess, with halftimes, right? Your team's playing so well the first 2 quarters, and halftime, yeah, it's a chance to sort of reset and adjust, or in some cases readjust. But now you got to sit down for 5 to 10 minutes, and then you got to come back out and maintain that same level. That's difficult to do, and a lot of times, the team that's down, if you're a good team, it kind of plays to your advantage because you kind of get amped up a little bit. Hey, we need to play better, and let's see if Shen can maintain this. What you're seeing now, really stretching their defense out, trying to speed up CBA.
All right, let's see what happens here out of the timeout called by Coach Cancer. CBA with their second possession of the second half, and Shen's defense a lot more aggressive, double teaming the ball. Nice drive by Pop, and the feed to J.J. Osinski, and he'll get to the line and shoot too. That was set up by a nice baseline move and a nice feed.
And that time what you saw is the first pass after CBA made their first pass. Shen's going to run and jump, but when you run and jump, if there's not a step-up guy on the backside, you're going to give up a reversal, and then your defense is going to get stretched. CBA takes advantage of it there.
So 15 points now in the game for J.J. Osinski as Christian Morgan comes out, and Amar Bouchery getting some time here in this first half for Coach Paul Yatta in his 4th season. So a 31-17 lead, 16 points for J.J. Osinski.
Yep, and that's rule number 1. If you're CBA in terms of winning, got to get J.J. Osinski going. They've done that here. Now they need some other guys to continue to step forward.
Stewart got into the lane, missed the shot, and they're going to call a foul on the rebound, call a push on Vogel on the rebound. And here's another look. The drive here by Stewart, Vogel guarding him, misses the shot, and they call a foul on Vogel.
And you could argue on that play there were fouls by both players on the same sequence. So either way, Stewart goes to the line. It's important that Shen has guys that see the ball going in the basket, and you can do that here with a free throw. They need to shoot the ball better. Let's really keep our eye on their perimeter shooting. If they can hit a couple of threes or some shots from the perimeter, that's going to open things up a bit for them, and that will help Shen make a little run here. They still haven't made a run in this game.
No, and still haven't made a 3 yet. Well, we are just underway here in the 3rd quarter. Aggressive defense by Shen here. A lot of double teaming of the ball, and a little bit more active here on the defensive side for Shen, you can tell, to start the 3rd quarter.
Trying to get the tempo moving a little bit, but CBA doing a good job getting the ball to the middle of the floor and taking a deep breath.
Hewlett with a drive. No good. Rebound, Bouchery. And he is fouled.
And sometimes, Roger, you see the secondary effects of a press. So that time, CBA breaks the press. They take a deep breath. But because of that pressure by Shen, CBA still playing a little bit fast. That time, that shot was just a fast shot, not a great shot.
Foul was on the freshman Hewlett. That's 2 quick fouls on the home team CBA here to begin the 3rd quarter. Hewlett with a near steal out front. And
there's just no panic from Shenendahoa. And that's a great indicator you're a confident team, you're a well-coached team, and you're a solid group, really connected.
Romano gets it into Stewart. Conley working down low, puts up a shot and scores. Shot a little floater over Pop, and it's a 10-point game.
Connolly is stronger physically than certainly he looks. I mean, that time a really nice strength move.
Cofield with the baseline drive, no good, but the rebound ends up in the hands of Osinski, and JJ has 18 points.
And that was a great play by Kofel. I think if you ask him, he'll say he meant to do that. I'm not sure if he did or if he didn't, but a really nice hustle play leads to an easy basket.
And left wide open there, a little missed assignment, no one guarding Nick Romano. And I said 18, JJ's got 15. We'll back it off by 3. Fouls on Stewart out front. And this one will come right, just a tip, and that just landed right where JJ wanted it, right in his hands, underneath the basket, and went up and got an easy one.
I'm going to say that Kofel meant to do that. That looked like a really smart heads-up play. On the flip side, in terms of non-smart plays, the one place you do not want to foul if you're Shen is right as soon as the ball gets over half court, because you use that half court line as a 6th defender, and that time they bailed him out.
Jack Donahue knocked down a couple of threes in the first half. Was just checked in as Osinski does not hit the rim on that shot in the lane. A little turnaround by JJ, who's been very good tonight. Not only offensively, but he's played some defense here tonight. And he's rebounding the ball, and his team's up by 10.
But we talked about his strength as being a real big improvement from a year ago. He can just hurt you in so many different ways, but also a very good defender and a great rebounder.
Talk about somebody who can get to the rim, and he's doing a lot of that tonight. Ibrahim, right to the rack.
Well, you can see the adjustment by Coach Yaddo at halftime. Let's get the tempo up. Let's get to the rim a little bit more. Let's run, let's scramble a little bit. Let's see if we can speed up CBA. And so this is the equivalent of a football team running the no-huddle offense.
No doubt, Steve, and you can see it on defense. Inside, Osinski, and a foul, and a 2-shot opportunity. And that's going against Will Conley, the junior guard. And here's a look at the foul on Conley as they go inside to J.J. Osinski.
And if football is a game of inches, basketball is a game of seconds. And Connolly did everything correct. He was probably a second and a half too late on that rotation, which is what led to the foul, putting Osinski to the line.
So Osinski has 15, now 16 points. Bowden's coming in. Donahue goes out. Ibrahim, who had that excellent drive in the last possession for Shen, has 9 points to lead the way for Shenendahoa.
He's going to have to get going a little bit. You know, you want to see him sort of take control a little bit of this game offensively if his team is struggling, which they are. But if you're Shen, you look up, you're down 10, halfway through the third, you're not shooting the ball well. You're just staying steady and you're hanging around.
Ball screen out front for Ibrahim. Ibrahim going to put up the 3. Too strong off the back of that iron, and J.J. Osinski gets the rebound. The outlet to Jason T.J. Vogel, and he is fouled. On the drive by Will Conley, it'll be 2 shots coming for Vogel. And that 10-point lead by CBA with 4:04 to go in the third.
This is a nice guard series move here by J.T. Vogel. Left hand, inside out, 2 feet in the paint. We've talked about his strength being such a big benefit to his game, and you're seeing it there. He gets 2 feet in the paint, and he gets into his rhythm, and he gets into his upper motion with his shot. His upper body strength is going to draw contact a lot.
Sam Borelli back in, the 5'10" senior. T.J. Vogel makes both foul shots and the lead back to 12. CBA 6 for 6 from the foul line here in this quarter.
Well, I'll tell you, if you can make more free throws than your opponent's attempt, that is an awesome formula to reach and to win with.
Romano gets stuck underneath, gets it to Stewart. Conley for three. Is that their first made three? No. Still can't find the range from deep, and back the other way comes Hewlett on the baseline. Up for the shot, no good. Foul gets his own rebound. And a foul is called on Shen. I think Shen wanted a walk. Is it going to walk or is it a foul? Take a look, Steve Scambolari.
Let's see. Again, upper body strength by Hewlett. Misses the bunny there. I would argue that's a travel, but that's just my own argument.
Well, that was the argument Shen was trying to present, but it is called a foul, and at the line is Jack Hewlett. And 7 for 7 from the line this quarter. As Shen very quickly got to those 5 team fouls and putting CBA at the line, and they're doing some damage here at the line.
You see a little bit of a pullback now in terms of Shen, in terms of intensity and energy. That last shot there by Connolly was more of a settle shot. And so they're not shooting it well. I kind of feel like that's sort of impacting their ability to run efficient offense here.
39-25. That would tie the biggest lead of the game, 14 points, and a steal on it. They're going to call a foul on Hewlett. Almost a pick, but not so fast, as Hewlett picks up the foul, the third team foul on CBA here in the quarter. And that is 3 on Hewlett.
A good chunk of this game just feels like a physicality contest that CBA is trying to and they are winning.
Yeah, at the moment I would say that they are winning the physicality portion of this game. I agree with that.
Like real physical approach.
Beautiful give and go, and Jacob Stewart gets the lay-in.
And they're climbing in guys. They're doing a decent job of not fouling this quarter. Kind of knocking Shen off their spots and off their rhythm and out of their comfort zone, which is what physical defense does.
Austin Osinski back in the game, but JJ puts up a 3. Austin, his brother, right there for the rebound, and he is fouled as he goes up with the left hand. And that's going to be Ethan Rudd picking up the foul. And back to the line goes CBA this third quarter.
And they're a little bit quicker to the ball, a little bit more aggressive to the ball. I don't know, I mean, when you're watching CBA, we know Shen is good. We know CBA is good. But if I'm a AAA sectional opponent and I'm watching a CBA team right now that has different parts and is starting to find their groove and their rhythm, they're not a team that I'd like to play when the sectionals start.
They are 10 for 10 in the third quarter, Steve, here in this third from the foul line. And an offensive foul on Ibrahim with the push as he tried to create a little bit of separation going up for that three-point shot.
And usually physical play is met with more physical play. And this is a good call. I mean, he extended that right arm a bit. Hewlett beat him to the spot, which is one of your algorithms for taking a charge. You beat somebody to the spot, get your feet set. That arm extended, though. Good call.
Up by 14 with the ball. Final 2:35 of the half. Good ball movement. J.J. Osinski buries the 3. And the lead starts to balloon here, Steve Scambolari, in the third.
That was great unselfish basketball. A couple of passes. They find their best shooter in the corner there. Shen's starting to come a little bit unraveled here.
And
good
the biggest
timeout.
Lead now at 17. 20 points in the game for J.J. Osinski in a timeout with 2:19 to go. 44-27, the 17-point lead. And nice brother finds him open in the corner. Austin feeds J.J., who buries the 3. And let's talk about the Osinskis a little bit here. There's J.J. and 1,000 points score here, a sophomore, came against Shaker, 8th player to hit that mark, youngest to do it in the history of CBA.
And that's saying something when you consider so many great players that have come through here. And spending time when I was a little bit younger, I see Corey in the stands.
Yeah.
Corey, a great player at Chalmont and at Siena. And then I played in the Empire State Games with Kevin Osinski, who I haven't seen in years. Kevin, if you're watching, hello. But just such a great basketball family. I know this has got to be pretty cool for Corey and his family watching their 2 boys play. that pass there by Austin to his brother in the corner, not only a great play, but that's one of those ones where if you're Austin later, say, hey, I get a little bit extra time on the Xbox later because that great play that I made free in the corner. And I think JJ's got to yield to that one. That was a great pass by his brother.
Yeah, Jordan King in 2019, the last to do it. And then, of course, JJ's father, dad, 1,000 points at both Chalmont and at Siena.
And then his grandfather, one of the greatest coaches that's ever coached in Section 2, Ron Ozinski at Chalmont and at Guilderland, of course. And just a great basketball family. Also Draper.
So 20 points for J.J. Osinski. They've got the biggest lead of the game at 17 with 2:09 to go.
And they've earned every point of this lead tonight. They've truly earned it. And that's a credit to CBA. They've been playing well. See if they can finish it.
Shot clock at 10. That was Hewlett with the three. We got a foul on the rebound against Shenandoah.
And again, what do you see? CBA winning another hustle play. Not necessarily a hustle basket, but a hustle play. You know, a lot of watching here from Shen, but CBA, again, just continuing to win this physical contest, if you want to call it that. And you got to give credit, not just to the CBA players, but you got to give credit to Jalal Cancer. I mean, following Dave Domel is an impossible task. There's only one Dave Domel. And there's a lot of coaches, good coaches, that I think would have hesitated to take this job because of the tradition that Dave Domel has established here. Jalal's doing a really good job. They're playing well. They're playing together. They're playing hard. They're organized. I mean, for his first year, I've been pretty impressed with what he's been doing here.
And Austin Osinski now extends that foul shooting streak to 12 for 12 here in this third quarter. 13-2 run broken by Ethan Rudd. And they needed that bucket.
This is full court, 1-2-2. CBA doing a great job here.
Oh, and wide open. That's Bowden. That's Coach Jalal Cancer right to the right of me. Literally almost fell back into the stands on that play. As Jacob, if he catches it, got 2 more points. One of those things, right?
Did everything correct except for the finish. Everything correct, breaking the press perfectly.
Yeah, I'm going to tell you right now, this CBA defense tonight is taking Shen out of their game a little bit, out of sync offensively tonight.
Yeah, and you can see a little hesitation, a little frustration on the part of Shenandoah. And I think if you look back and the game continues to play out, you know, their inability to shoot the ball from the perimeter tonight has really impacted other parts of their game. But, you know, it's a make or miss game, and the ball does not always go in.
That foul was on Hewlett, the freshman, and that is 3 on him. They get the ball into Rudd, and he has fouled. That will be 3 fouls on Odatayo. He had 2 very early and then was still blocking shots in that first half. Finally gets his third with 1:06 to go in the third. And it sends Ethan Rudd, the senior forward / center, to the foul line. And not a lot going right in terms of putting the ball in the basket for Shenandoah tonight.
It's just been a tough night for them. And unless they, you know, drastically turn things around, you have games like this. It's also been a long season. You're kind of just at the end of the dog days of January where the season really kind of drags on. And sometimes you just have nights where the ball doesn't go in. Some teams can battle through that and figure it out. Other teams can't. I think Shen can, but CBA's playing pretty well tonight.
1 of 2 at the line for Rudd. Ball goes up ahead to Pop, and Shen team doubling the ball all over the place here in the final minute now, the third quarter. 16-point lead. Boustry guarding Pop. And now Hewlett has it. 13 to shoot. Osinski. Shot clock winding down to Pop. Extra pass, baseline reverse layup is good. Outstanding ball movement and the finish by Jack Hewlett. And an 18-point lead, their biggest of the game.
And great patience as Shen's trying to speed them up. CBA saying, I'm not going to get sped up. We're going to stay within ourselves and make a bunch of passes. And again, attacking a closeout. Easy layup.
You're watching CBA turn in their best performance of the season here tonight. Against a really good Shen team. It only has 1 loss. And a turnover. And up ahead, it's Pop. And the layup is no good. Tip at the buzzer. That will count by J.J. Osinski. And that makes it an even 20-point lead as we get through three quarters, and the CBA fans are giving this team a standing ovation. Here's the last look in the closing seconds of the third quarter. And, man, you are looking inside the dome here at CBA, and what a beautiful multi-purpose facility this is for the teams here at CBA to use and to take full advantage of. Not all high schools have, I don't know how many high schools have that kind of a facility, but CBA has it, and good for them because they are able to use it for all of their sports teams. Work out inside the dome, and it is it's certainly an advantage when you have that kind of a facility.
It's a super cool addition to a school with such an amazing athletic tradition. And now here we go. If you turn the TV on, you say, oh, the game's over. Game's not over.
Nope.
All right, you got to get stops if you're Shen. You got to limit CBA to one shot. And how about this? You got to get to the free throw line and get some points with the clock stopped.
Well, that was the difference. I mean, so many foul shots, made foul shots. They got to the line in that third quarter for CBA.
I mean, one of the pieces in the anatomy of a comeback is you got to get to the rim and you got to get to the free throw line, because getting points while the clock stopped helps you. And you know what? If you don't shoot the ball better, Raj, obviously they're probably not going to win the game, and they're due to make a big three.
Down by 20 to start the third. Let's see what they can do. And right away they get a bucket on the inside by Will Connolly to open up the fourth quarter.
Now, the press has been okay up top, but the middle has always been open. Here we go again.
And they've handled the press beautifully here so far, and a beautiful job. A press break right there. That was perfection in the finish by J.J. Osinski.
And I just wonder if Shen backs this pressure up a little bit as they turn it over again. If they back this pressure up a bit, maybe they'd get something better. But right now, this is just a clinic on how to beat a 1-2-2 press. You go side to side, hit middle, go opposite, layup. And here it is. They're moving it back a tiny bit.
Yeah, I remember the great Donnie Bassett always telling me, if you can break the press properly, it could turn out to be a layup drill.
When teams would press us at St. Rose, he would yell out layup time from the bench.
Exactly. So you've heard him say that before. Speaking of layups, Pop with the drive. Tip no good by Osinski. And out to Christian Morgan, nice crossover move by Morgan, and right to the rim and scores. Well done by the senior Christian Morgan.
I think you need a little bit more of that from Christian Morgan, who's more than capable of scoring at a high level. And again, you're seeing Shen moving this thing back a little bit. Let's see if they can get a stop here and get another score.
And Hewlett lost control, and it's going to be a jump ball. Morgan getting after it defensively. Jump ball possession arrow, though, favors CBA. And watch the individual effort here by Morgan. Nice crossover, goes around Austin, and then right to the rim, and got past Vogel and scores. Lob inside Osinski, and a foul from behind as he went up for the shot. That'll go against Nick Romano, and back to the line goes JJ tonight, and CBA has been just tremendous at the line. 4 fouls on Romano.
In a play like that, when you see somebody slap down and the ball comes straight up, usually that's an indication that he got slapped on the hand or on the wrist. When the ball goes straight down, indication they got all ball.
And you were talking about Coach Ron Osinski. There he is.
And he looked, I've never seen him with the CBA colors on. He looks weird.
He looks like he's in a focused zone right now and liking everything that he sees, as he should. And we get a timeout with 6:14 to go. 54-34. And just an outstanding performance right from the opening tap tonight by CBA. And, I think some have questioned, their defense this year and all those things that they've shown tonight. When they're playing the defense and get the offense cranked up, they're going to be tough out. CBA 14-14 from the line in the second half. Osinski has 26.
I was thinking about this. I mean, if we speculate, let's go back to October 1st, and if you sat down with Jalal Cancer and said, okay, look, it's going to be February 13th, you're going to be 11-6 overall, you're going to be 8-3 in the league, with a team with one senior in your first year as a head coach, leading Shen by 20 on February 13th, would you take it? And I think he would. And just given all the dynamics, first-year head coach, I mean, this team is good and they're getting better. And they're going to be a very difficult out, especially if they play like this.
Yeah. And Shen's good too. I mean, they're beating a good team here tonight. Shen's 18-1, 11-1 in Suburban. Ibrahim passes out, open look, no, still can't get the three. Romano with a miss, and then look who's leaking out. Pop, and he misses the lay in, but guess who's there now? Osinski. JJ had a pretty good look on that putback. Ibrahim in the lane, up for the shot, no good. Gets his own rebound and scores.
Now, it's interesting what you're seeing now. 2 or 3 times in this game when Morgan rebounds the ball and begins to handle it himself, Shen's getting layup opportunities at the other end.
Long pass up to Osinski. JJ drives in, and then he's going to be tied up by Morgan, right? That's called a jump ball. And the possession arrow foot favors Shen. Coach Cancer was blocking my view there, but look, that was a pretty good play by Morgan.
Thought it was a real good play, a good call. And, CBA, Shenandoah, 2 good teams, but you have to earn wins. It's hard to win in this league. It's hard to win, period. And you've got to earn them. And they don't come easy. They don't give them away.
Morgan, the drive, Bouchery, and they're going to turn it over. Turnover against Shen.
And just a little out of sorts tonight, and that's a credit to CBA. Shen's having a tough night.
And Coach Cantor calls a timeout here with 5:13 to go, and call it a comfortable lead here, up 54-36. Certainly not over yet, but.
And that's what you're telling your team here. We'll talk more about that after we take a look at the CBA.
Let's take a look at the schedule here for CBA, and the playoffs are ready to start here. The upcoming schedule for CBA, they have 2 games left. Bethlehem, and then Bishop Ludd's the non-conference game, and then the Section 2 seeding, Steve, is on the 19th, and off and running we go.
And I think what you're telling your team now is, look at, the kids are looking around. They might see some people leaving the gym. The casual fan might say, oh, this thing's over with. From a coaching standpoint, you've got to beg your team. The game's not over. You probably need a good 3-4 more minutes to feel a little more comfortable. As a coach, you could be up 30, you're never comfortable. And as a player, you're looking at the score and saying, this thing might be over with. but Shen can explode on you pretty quickly. And it comes to that sectional meeting, I wouldn't want to play Shen. I wouldn't want to play CBA. I think AAA is really wide open. And if CBA looks at this film, and Coach Cancer, I'm sure, will tell his team, look how well you played. If you bring this same effort and intensity level, nobody will want to play you, and you can beat anybody that you play. And that's what makes the sectional so much fun.
And you saw the lineup and the dates right there on TV tonight, folks. That's what you have coming up. The postseason in Section 2 is here. And it goes by in a hurry. And keep in mind, Shaker's undefeated in conference and lost. No one's been able to beat Shaker. So everything goes through Shaker right now until somebody knocks them off, and they're really good. They're good offensively, and that team defends at a very high level. I've caught 2 or 3 of their games and have been extremely impressed. But I'm impressed with the way CBA has performed here tonight. I'm not sure what I expected, but the last time we saw them was against Niskayuna, and this is not the way they played.
And there are some similarities between both of these teams, and I'll also throw in Shaker. Now, you can argue who's got better players, who's the better team, but when these teams are clicking, they have multiple guys that can score, and that just makes them really dangerous. You can win a lot of games with multiple scores.
And then there's this team, Steve Scambolori, called Green Tech.
And they bring a different dimension.
And they bring a different dimension, and they will be raring to roll in the postseason, as they always are. They are the defending state champions.
And they beat Our Lady of Lourdes the other day. I think it was like 76 to like 39. Now, I saw Lourdes play at LaSalle. They had a great game with LaSalle. Lourdes was really good. And Green Tech putting 76 on them and only holding them to 39, to me, holy cow, that was pretty impressive. Green Tech, a tough out for anybody.
That would be an incredibly difficult out for sure. Stewart gets one in the lane with the right hand. 56-38. Dominating performance here. Really from the second quarter on by CBA. Just having their way, and J.J. Osinski scores again.
And at the end of the day, who scored the most easy points? And that's an easy answer. It was easily CBA today. I think they scored a ton of baskets, a ton of layups off this pressure that Shen's doing. And if you're Coach Yaddo, you might ask, like watching at home, well, why does he keep pressing? Well, A, if he wants to try to get back in the game, it's probably not gonna. You're gonna keep pressing. And B, this gives you a chance to really look at your press, get it on film a little bit more, get a bunch more possessions on film, and teach through the failure of maybe not winning this game and trying to get your pressure a little bit better.
I just feel like Shen has not gotten that many good looks tonight. Even that last sequence here with Ibrahim, I mean, he was well guarded there, well defended on that play. Foul out front called on Conley, but
a lot of that I feel also has to do with this physicality fight that they've had. I mean, the more physical team has been CBA. The team that scored the most easy points has definitely been CBA. The team that's won the glass, easily been CBA.
Pop drives in. Ball ends up back on the left wing there to Austin Osinski. Final 3:16 to go. CBA is going to win this game.
And Shen's done a lot of chasing the basketball, which is never a good recipe. As the ball goes by, you chase.
Off the front of the iron on the 3 by J.J. Osinski. Will Conley up quickly with it. Boucherie bounce past Rudd. And Rudd's going to get the bucket, and the foul will be called on J.J. Osinski. It'll be a 3-point opportunity for Rudd. Rudd down low, fakes the pass. He actually had Stewart open, but then makes a hard drive to the bucket and scores. Draws the foul, and Rudd at the line trying to complete the 3-point play for Shenendahoa.
And CBA's depth has certainly played a role in this game. They're just a deeper team than Shen. I mean, CBA can throw 7, 8, 9, 10 guys at you and play multiple different styles. Shen, I don't know if they have that exact luxury. They play different guys, but in terms of depth, team depth, CBA's the deeper team.
Boucherie guarding Hewlett. Now Pop Cofield right to the rim, off the glass, no good. And the rebound, last touch by Shen. It'll stay with CBA.
5-6 times tonight, Pop is just getting by guys, and that forces you to rotate. Even when he misses a shot, his teammates keep the ball alive, but that has a lot to do with his penetration. Shen just couldn't keep CBA in front of them tonight. And you're in no rush, obviously, here. If you're CBA, you're going to run your stuff down, use the shot clock, get into something late, don't turn it over.
That's exactly what they're doing. Hewlett with the left hand, he scores. Jack Hewlett, the freshman.
And sometimes when it's going good, it's going good. And it's been going good for CBA.
Yeah, it's been
tonight.
a night. They've had a night. They have had a night on both ends of the floor.
And sometimes a loss, nobody wants to lose, but sometimes a loss is not the end of the world. And sometimes good teams need a loss at this time of year, just to kind of capture their full attention for the stretch run.
Now, Shen has had plenty of good ones this year, that is for sure.
And you could also argue, in terms of desperation, CBA played a little more desperate tonight, which is something that has been pretty impressive from an energy and intensity standpoint. They've just played a little more intense and a little more aggressive and a little more desperate.
Final 1:30 here. CBA is going to improve to 9-3. And still, Shen one more time, and that one is their first three of the game. Jacob Stewart knocks it down. And he's had a good year shooting the three ball. But as a team tonight, have not been able to get it going from deep.
And sometimes you ask the basketball gods, look, if it's going bad, just let it go bad for the whole night. Don't tease me with our first three towards the end of the game.
And Coach Jalal Cancer emptying his bench with 57 seconds to go, up 60-44.
Confidence building moment.
Yeah,
I think for
I agree.
CBA.
And now they got Bethlehem on Monday. Well coached by Coach Irons.
And that's your next challenge if you're Jalal Cancer. This can't be their biggest win of the season. The biggest game they have left, or the biggest game is their next game. Right, so you can't take on Bethlehem and have a hangover from this one. Got some crowd favorites in the game.
Yeah, this is Cadet for three, no good. Brant Cadet, excuse me, who's actually in the playing group. He does get time off the bench.
It was really hard to say that the guys that played, everybody for CBA, didn't play really well. Everybody played pretty well tonight.
And a foul on the drive by Liam O'Shea. And the sophomore guard, Liam O'Shea, will get to the line shooting two shots here with just 20 seconds left in this game.
Look at so many good teams from the Suburban Council, from your Niskayunas to your Shakers, obviously CBA, obviously Shen. And then there's a collection of other teams that are just super dangerous. Columbia, Albany, Colony. Saratoga has their moments. Averill Park always plays hard. Bethlehem will play super hard.
You never know. You got to be ready to bring it. And CBA brought it tonight. Final 10 seconds. It's Aiden Good. Going to dribble this one out. 2 seconds to go. That's going to do it. Very impressive win tonight by CBA as they roll to a 60-44 win, handing Shenandoah only their second loss of this season. We'll come back with a postgame and a chat with J.J. Osinski coming up on My 4. You got it. Hey, nice game, man. 1-2, 1-2, testing 1-2, 1-2. Testing 1-2. We're back at CBA to wrap this up as the CBA with a terrific performance tonight on the home court to take down Shenendehowa 60-44, and the top player in this game without question, the sophomore J.J. Osinski, 28 points and 9 rebounds. J.J., congratulations on the win. What was it about this team performance tonight, not only on offense, but I thought you put it together defensively tonight?
Yeah, I mean, CBA Shen's always a big game, big rivalry, and we were excited all week for it. And we just played really well together today. We executed everything well, and we just played well as a team together. Was
this your best effort defensively as a team?
I would say so, definitely. I mean, 15 points in the first half. We really came out ready to play. Yeah.
JJ, you're a better scorer than your dad and your Uncle Kevin. I know they're going to be watching this, but all kidding aside, I feel like your strength has been such a massive. You've improved your strength so much. How hard have you worked on, especially your upper body strength in the offseason?
Yeah, it was a big thing in the offseason. Last year I got pushed around a little bit, but this year got a little bigger, and it's helping a lot. Finishing through contact, stuff like that.
JJ, what does a win like this mean with only 2 games left now in the regular season? Postseason is coming up, the momentum and maybe some confidence that this team has going into the playoffs.
Yeah, I mean, it's good. We beat one of the best teams in the section, and that's good for our momentum going into sectionals, like you said.
And I felt like you played well and could have won at Shaker last week.
Yeah, I mean, a few slip-ups. We corrected on those today, though, so finished with an exclamation point.
And I wouldn't want to see you in the sectionals. What do you think? How good can this team be? You guys played great tonight.
I think we have the potential to win sectional championship. We just got to keep playing like we did tonight, keep working hard in practice, and it'll all come to us.
JJ, congratulations on the win, and we'll see you in the postseason.
See you around.
You got it. That's 28 from Osinski, and he was outstanding. Here's a look. Steve Scambolori, let's take a look at these final stats here in this one tonight.
I just thought it was a full team effort. I mean, look at the free throws, 18 at 22. So they made more free throws than Shen attempted, which is it's such a huge part of
that is a massive
any
stat
winning
right there.
formula. And Shen, we already talked about it, 1 3-pointer. A full team effort, great energy, great intensity, a well-coached game by CBA. Shen's going to be fine, but if you're CBA, this is a great confidence-building win.
Yeah, I'm ready. There's a lot of good teams here, and you rattled a whole bunch of them off, and the postseason will start here in another week. And this is our final of 8 broadcasts, and you've been on a good majority of them. Terrific job. It's been a pleasure.
Awesome.
Been a pleasure. Glad to have basketball back, and what a great staff that we have to work with here, and it's been fun. Coming up next, a closer look on My 4. Our news coming up right after we are done here, and then a couple of reminders. Siena men tomorrow night, big game at home against Marist. If you're not going down to the game, you can watch it on My 4, and I can say the same for the Firewolves. Second half of that Firewolves season ready to roll, and Ottawa comes into town on Saturday night. If you're not going down to MVP Arena, you can watch the game as always on My 4. And that will wrap up our series of 8 broadcasts. Thanks to the entire staff for doing a phenomenal job, and a great performance by CBA tonight in a dominating performance against Shenendehowa. For the entire crew, I'm Roger Weiland. So long, everyone.